2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, November 5th, 2021. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, Troy University now has a new welcome mat greeting people to the school. The new addition is hard to miss and in a familiar spot on the edge of campus. Amaya Mitchell gives us a look.
If you take George Wallace Drive to get to Troy University, you may notice a familiar logo welcoming you to campus. The Power T located at the intersection of George Wallace Drive and University Avenue was an idea introduced by Troy students.
This was actually a student-initiated project, and I want to thank all the students who were inspired to try to put this together.
That student was Claudia Harris, who introduced it to Troy SGA.
Me being the special projects chair, our committee took it on, and I ran with it from there.
But more than Troy SGA pitched in to fund the idea. Organizations like sororities and the Interfraternity Council helped fundraise, but even the university's administration and the city of Troy chipped in.
We finally got all the money collected, and we are so ready to have it put down today.
Both Gavan and Christen say it's a way for people to know they're in Trojan territory and to bring a little bit of Trojan pride.
It was a great way to put our Trojan Power T out there, and they loved it from the start.
We're going to put down the Power T right in this intersection of George Wallace and University Avenue to declare this is the home of the Trojans.
Not only has the Power T been an exciting addition to campus, but has provided students with the learning opportunity as well.
It's been a long journey to get to where we are now. I've learned a lot about raising money. I've learned a lot about interacting with different officials, whether it be the mayor of the city of Troy, university officials, working with the students and raising money. It's just been a fun but a long experience, so we're really going to enjoy it.
Troy University students got a taste of what it's like to live in poverty as the Office of Civic Engagement held a poverty simulation to allow students to experience financial struggles firsthand. Kadarius Brown has a story.
Troy University's Office of Civic Engagement periodically hosts a poverty simulation to teach students the reality of what it's like to live life in a position of poverty. The student participants of the poverty simulation were challenged with real-life scenarios such as limited budgets, evictions, and crime. They were put into randomized families and had to assume identities that were far from their own.
We feel that it's important for our students at Troy to have this experience. The poverty simulation walks them through a full month in poverty, and they are provided a scenario and they have a role as a family member, and they experience what it would be like to live week to week, paycheck to paycheck. We feel that this is a real life experience.
Community resources were available for students to visit during the simulation. The students had to visit organizations such as social services, child care, and education. They also had to pay home mortgages and utility bills, among many other real-life costs and expenses.
Some students really gain new insight into the emotional impacts of what it would be like to struggle financially. Others really gain an appreciation for a lot of the freedoms and privileges that they get to enjoy coming from a family with a higher income.
Cole Howell, a participant in the simulation, recounts his emotional experience.
The child perspective is quite tough. In fact, during the simulation, I was age 8. I felt very isolated. I felt as if my parents kind of lacked the available funds to give me the opportunity to go on like the field trip and get the appropriate school supplies for me to fully participate. So I can see where it would be hard to advance social interactions while going to school, growing up in a situation like that.
I learned from another student participant, Malachi Leaks, on what the poverty simulation taught him.
The poverty simulation taught me that there's people in the world that doesn't have what we have, the necessities to living in a situation with help.
For more information on Troy University's Office of Civic Engagement's future events, you can find them on their Instagram at Troy_service. Kadarius Brown, Troy, TrojanVision News.
University police were stopping students on the quad Wednesday morning, but instead of tickets, they were handing out coffee. It was an opportunity for students to get to know the men and women who patrol the campus. Taylor Wayman shows us why it came about.
Coffee, cocoa, and cops. Troy University's police department came together Wednesday morning on the campus quad to offer students a warm drink and a pastry on their way to their morning classes.
Today is Coffee with a Cop, and today's a chance to kind of get back to the community for all they're helping us do, and a chance just to get to know our students a whole lot better, our faculty a whole lot better, and a chance just to kind of humanize us, to show that we're not about just arresting people or writing parking tickets. It's also about getting to know you on a more personal level.
Typically, students only see campus police in passing or when getting parking tickets, but the Coffee with a Cop event gave students a chance to interact with the police on campus and to see them in a different light.
It humanizes them. They're not like some scary authorities with guns and like robots that just do what they're told and da-da-da. They're people, and they like make choices, and they're doing what they think is best, and they have their faults too, but so do you.
Troy police say they look at this event as an opportunity to show students that they can also have fun, and hope sharing coffee, pastries, and good conversation will bring a more positive presence to police and how they interact with the community.
I think we have a really good department here, and it's really good for the students, and especially they're all approachable, so if anyone ever sees one, I definitely recommend them just saying hi or shaking their hand and just thanking them for being on our campus, because they really do keep us safe around here.
I believe there's always bad apples everywhere, in every job, every profession, and my job is just to rise above that and not even think about that, but just to prove everybody wrong.
The stigma that has attached itself to police officers has been ongoing for many years, but Troy police believe that events just like Wednesday's could positively change the direction and relationship between police and communities, not just here on Troy's campus, but nationwide.
Right here, what we're doing today, this event right here is what law enforcement across the country needs to be doing. Not necessarily coffee and pastries, but just interaction with the public. I think that it's important that the officers, again, across the country, but especially here on campus, that we get out and relate to the community we serve.
Taylor Wayman, Troy TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll see how Troy's International Arts Center is spreading art knowledge to area middle schoolers. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Troy University's International Arts Center is helping enhance art education for area middle schoolers with a program designed to get the young students actively involved with the work on display in the center. Jekiah Dudley shows us how.
As Troy University students perfect their crafts preparing for their future careers, IAC Junior Warriors practice their crafts in a different way. The International Arts Center collaborated with Confucius Institute, allowing 5th and 6th graders to experience a unique art exhibit on a college campus, while participating in workshops conducted by Troy's art education students. Carrie Jackson gives us more details.
We have our 5th and 6th graders coming from the Troy Elementary School, and they are part of our Junior Warriors program that we do in collaboration with the Confucius Institute. And we have them doing tours and art workshops and just having an experience of being in a museum and getting out of their classroom.
The Junior Warriors were also able to tour the museum and gain a multicultural experience by learning about the history of the Terracotta Warrior exhibition.
We also give them a tour of our terracotta warriors, and they learn about the history, the importance of the warriors, and also how they came to Troy University. And then they'll also get to run around the park after lunch and get to see our installation outdoors.
The students participated in hands-on workshops using recycled material and gel plates to create colorful, abstract prints and designs.
This art workshop is based on inspiration by Janet Nolan's artwork, which we have in our foyer, which you see behind me. And this artwork has inspired many of our students to use those materials and to seek different ways to think creatively about reusing objects.
Jackson and the International Arts Center Department wanted to show their gratitude towards Alabama State Council of Arts for sponsoring the program.
The IC Junior Warriors is sponsored in part by Alabama State Council on the Arts through a grant that we received, and we are very grateful to them for their support, and it has made it possible for us to bring over 3 grades from our elementary and middle schools.
For more information on Troy University's International Arts Center's future events, you can visit them on their Instagram at IAC_Troy University. Jakaya Dudley, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And Troy students had the chance to get crafty as well while learning about more elements of the Chinese culture. Claudia Peppenhorst has the details.
The Chinese Culture Club hosted another tea talk in John Robert Lewis Hall Thursday night with a class teaching students the art of Chinese paper cutting. The club has hosted events all semester long in hopes of teaching Troy students more about the Chinese culture.
The Confucius Institute want to promote the Chinese culture to everybody, and the Chinese paper cutting is one of them. And we just want everybody to approach to this kind of art.
Students got their hand at Chinese paper cutting with 2 different designs that have 2 different meanings. One that means double happiness and the other means spring.
So today we do 2 patterns. The first one is 双喜, which means double happiness. Usually people do it for decoration on the newlyweds, for the newlyweds couple doors or window. And the second one is the 3D pattern we call 春, which means spring, and we use it on New Year or springtime.
After completing each design, students got to take their artwork home. But that's not the only thing they took away from this week's Tea Talk. The activity teaches patience with each intricate cut of paper.
Actually, it need a lot of patience to learn a pattern, to be honest. Like, for the 春, actually it's what my handmade pattern. So like I spent around at least a whole day to find out how to make that pattern, so people can learn how to do it, to learn the patience from it.
The next Tea Talk will be a virtual event on November 18th. Claudia Peppenhorst, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy's International Students Cultural Organization normally spends Thursday nights teaching students about other countries. However, last week the group was testing student knowledge about many of those countries that they normally feature. Mackenzie Foster shows us how.
On Thursday night, Troy University's International Student Cultural Organization and Study Abroad Club hosted a trivia night. Although this event is a little different than ISCO's usual country night, the Jeopardy-style game still had the cultural learning experience that ISCO strives for. Jordan Jones, a member of ISCO's Activities Council, expresses how the event allowed for the participants to not only have fun, but also allowed them to gain knowledge about other cultures.
They definitely learned how competitive international students are, but also I would say that they learned a lot of things about different countries, even just how similar different things that seem like far out there, how similar it is to their particular culture.
While there are some special prizes up for grabs, the trivia game consisted of interesting questions about international foods, world leaders, and flags. Participants were able to separate into teams and work together in order to get the most points to be deemed as the winning team.
This, along with our other events that we do outside of this, like our ISCO tailgate that we had earlier this semester, as well as our events that we have coming up for International Education Week, these are designed to get students out and participate and be a little more active, to be a little more engaged and have a little more fun.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at some of the student activities leading up to the annual Battle for the Belt. That's coming up right after this, so stay tuned.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
Mama. Mama. Say mama. Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm almost 2 now and still not responding. That's one sign of a communication disorder, and delaying treatment can affect my development.
Many parents aren't aware of the early signs of speech, language, and hearing disorders, yet early detection and treatment can improve quality of life.
Say dada.
Ugh, here we go.
Identify the signs of communication disorders.
This weekend is the Battle for the Belt, the annual rivalry football game between Troy and South Alabama. While the teams will decide the winner of the coveted belt on Saturday, all this week students from both schools had a battle of their own leading up to the game, one that can help feed the hungry. Belle Johnson has more.
While the Trojan football team prepares to face South Alabama this Saturday, the Troy University SGA is holding a competition of their own with South.
This week we're hosting a canned food drive against South Alabama. So as you all may know, we have our big rival game coming up against South Alabama this Saturday, but we have also found a new way to incorporate some competition, and that is through our canned food drive. So through this entire week, we're hosting a canned food drive for students. They can bring their cans to the SGA office. We're also having boxes placed at the sorority and fraternity houses for students to bring their cans to. And all the donations from the canned foods will be placed at Backpack for Kids and the Troy Idea Bank. So we would love to have you guys participating in this canned food drive and hopefully get the win against South Alabama this Saturday and the canned food drive that will end this Friday as well.
I really just think it's a great way to compete against South and to beat South in a lot of different ways that we're going to this week on the field, in our community, and also to give back to our community. I think that's really important. It's really big. When we kind of discussed it with our SGA president, we recognized a way to give back to our communities during this week, and this is a way that we can.
Along with the food drive, the SGA has a few other events planned for this week.
Tomorrow there's a dunking booth that I'll be in, so if y'all don't like me or you just want to see me thrown in some water, come bring $1, come bring 2 cans, either or. That's a way to dunk us. Miles, the Vice President of Campus Affairs, will be in there, and there's a mystery guest potentially coming as well, so look out for that. Also throughout the week we have a pep rally on Thursday and a bonfire on Friday, so there's a lot of excitement. And most importantly, we just want to beat South on Saturday. Game starts at 2:30. We're expecting to pack it out. My favorite memory as a freshman is going to that game my freshman year when the game used to be on a Wednesday and seeing it completely packed out. I think it's really just a sense of Trojan pride just to see all of us come together for just one common thing, and that's beating South this week.
Belle Johnson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The food drive is just one of a number of events the Troy Student Government Association held this week to get students ready for the Battle for the Belt. That include one way that students to get pumped for the game that was a little colorful. Simon Schuessler has the story.
SGA hosted Wildin' Out Wednesday this week, and students had a chance to hit the quad for some music and a chance to get colorful. Students were treated to a night of fun at the event, where they were able to grab cups of paint powder to either dump on themselves, or if they were feeling mischievous, their friends. DJ Red was also in attendance, providing students with tunes to get down to.
So tonight we're having a paint party event for our student body, getting ready for Beat South Week. We really want to get pumped up for the game, and what better way than to have an amazing event, throwing party. We have a DJ out here, so we're just having fun.
Although this was an event originally planned for Welcome Week, the SGA rescheduled the event for South Hate Week.
So this event was originally an event during Welcome Week, but we had to flip it around, change the name, and we decided to put it right here during South Hate Week to get students pumped up to cheer on our Men of Troy Saturday.
The SGA will conclude South Hate Week with a pep rally event as well as a bonfire to get students even more excited about Saturday's game. Simon Schuessler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Every pregame, every halftime, every time the Sound of the South blows their horns, there's one man who's ultimately responsible for making it all happen. And that's Director of Bands Mark Walker. Zeta Ingram gives us a little background on how Walker got where he is today.
For most professors at a university, you can usually find them inside of their office. As for Troy University's band director Mark Walker, you can usually find him up in the sky right off of Dr. John M. Long Avenue. But he had to take steps to get here. Every musician starts somewhere, and this one gained his start at the dinner table.
I remember when I was a little kid, when my mom would, this sounds kind of dumb, but when my mom would make spaghetti, I would get like the spaghetti noodles and conduct with the spaghetti noodles and things like that. We grew up with music in the house, and so it's something that came naturally to me.
Walker went from conducting noodles to strumming guitar strings, but it was not long before he discovered an opportunity that would change his life.
When I was a little kid, I took guitar lessons for a while, and I wasn't very good at that. But then when I was in the 7th grade, my band director, Daryl Smith, back in Arkansas, started me on euphonium, or baritone horn. And so that's what I started playing in the 7th grade.
And that was the moment Walker started to play in beginner band. But as years went by, bigger doors began to open. He obtained his music education degree, and before he knew it, Walker was offered the job of his dreams. But a job is not what he would call it.
This is going to sound strange, but I don't really consider it work. You know, I've got great students. They're very bright, they're very hardworking, they're patient, they tolerate me, you know, and my silliness. And I don't have a job. I mean, I get to come here and do band every day and teach music and do music. It allows me to work with the students.
While many people have come and gone throughout Dr. Mark Walker's career, there is one woman that he credits for sticking with him every step of the way. That woman also plays a key role in what Walker considers as his biggest success.
My wife, Jessica, I mean, she really makes me a better person, and she's really an inspiration to me. Just without her, I mean, I don't know that I would be doing anything, really, to tell you the truth. My biggest success of my life, my family, my daughter probably, you know, and the fact that Jessica and I have been married going on 30 years, and it's just every day is better than the last.
And every day leading the sound of the South is a good day in Walker's eyes.
And the students are what really is inspiring to me and makes me want to be not only a better teacher and musician for them, but they inspire me to be better myself.
Zeta Ingram Troy, TrojanVision News.
It's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll get a preview of the Trojan basketball seasons. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
For over 70 years, Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire before leaving. Drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
The Trojan volleyball team closed out their home schedule with a win last Saturday. Cy Yates has the highlights from the senior game victory.
The Troy volleyball team closed out their final home game of the season with a 3-0 win over App State, but it was anything but easy for the Trojans.
I think we had good composure down the stretch. App State had a good game plan. They were playing really low error. And, you know, we weren't super sharp defensively, but we made really good plays when we needed to, and our serving was really on point tonight and put a lot of pressure on them.
Saturday night was also senior night for the Trojan volleyball team, who honored 5 seniors, including one of Troy's all-time greats, Cheyenne Hayes.
I'm just really thankful for my time here at Troy. Trojan Arena has been good to me, so it was really, really nice.
The win marks the 4th straight for the Trojans, something they attribute to playing together for each other, as well as getting the whole team involved in the game.
Well, I mean, I think we have a lot of contribution, you know, and we talked about a few things about just kind of being more efficient offensively, making some smarter decisions offensively, and I think that that's really helped us.
We kind of came together about a week ago and just kind of talked about like all 6 of us on the court, and then obviously spreading that into the whole 17 of us in a group and just kind of playing for each other, playing together, and I think that that's been a big difference maker for us.
The Trojans will close out their season on the road over the next 2 weeks, but will continue to rely on their experienced players to lead the program.
Well, I think maturity and experience matter, right? And we're a very mature and experienced team right now, and it's a big class, and it's been a very impactful class. With the win tonight, it puts us, guarantees that we're going to have 3 seasons in a row with winning records in the Sun Belt. It's never been done before in the history of Troy volleyball. And this group continues to just, change the record books and change the direction of Troy volleyball, hopefully for a long, long time.
Cy Yates, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The Trojan women's basketball team will start their season Tuesday night. Simon Schuessler gives a preview of what the team hopes to accomplish this season.
After finishing the 2020 season as the top team in the conference, as well as finishing the 2021 season as conference champions, the Trojans are looking to continue their string of successful seasons heading into this year.
It's a brand new team, new challenges and new advantages to this team that we're still learning about.
After a dominant 22-6 regular season record last year, the Trojans are looking to amp up their out-of-conference schedule. The Trojans are slated to play 2 SEC as well as 2 ACC squads before they hit conference play.
So the reasoning for that is, number one, our overall goal is to get back to the NCAA tournament, but get a better seed in that tournament so we can be competitive. And the only way to do that is to play much better teams in the pre-conference season. The other side of that, though, is if we can make it through the pre-conference and still, with some wins and still be positive and pulling together as a team, conference shouldn't be as hard for us because, we're battle tested at that point.
Last year, the Trojans season ended in heartbreaking fashion in the Big Dance. The 15-seeded Trojans were almost too much for 2-seeded Texas A&M to handle, but a few questionable calls gave the Aggies the edge in the end as the Trojans would lose by 4. One Trojan that stepped up in that game was Felmis Karanga, who posted a career-high 20 points. She talks about the team's desire to make it back to March Madness.
I don't know, but there's some urge to keep on wanting to do it. So I really can't wait to see how it goes this year. I want to get back there, and I know my team is due as well. So yeah, we're ready for that.
Simon Schuessler, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
And the Trojan men's basketball team is getting ready to tip off their season next week as well. Diondra Larkin has a preview of the upcoming men's basketball season.
The clock is ticking. The sneakers are sneaking and the buckets are leaking. Troy's men's basketball team are making their way down the court to a new season with 8 of the top 9 shooters returning. Some new faces came along as well.
So we got 3 guys that are all in the 6'7", the 6'9" range that are big old bodies, and our guys got a lot stronger in the offseason as well. I mean, I think from top to bottom, our strength levels increased as a team. We will be physically bigger and stronger than we were last year.
Now, super senior Nick Stampley, returning to the Trojans for his final year, says he has seen the team's commitment for better communication this season.
Practice with the new recruits been good. Everybody's been getting in the gym. Everybody's been listening to coach. The whole team is coachable, so we're really excited for this season. We expect big things. It's way better than it was last year. Guys, they're communicating with the coaches and each other. I feel like we just got to find a way to talk to each other the right way to, encourage each other and not bring each other down. It hurts, but I know I want to come out here with a bang. The goal this year is to win 20-plus games and to make a run in the tournament.
Having some major opponents in other conferences is a balance on the Trojan schedule, but head coach Scott Cross says no matter who is on the schedule or in the conference, it'll be great for his team.
Yeah, I think with scheduling, you want a good balance. So you want games where you're going to win, but you also want games where you really got to challenge your team. And also you want to play a couple of non-conference games that we're going to be as good or better than any team in the Sun Belt. So we have that with Butler and Florida, those 2 games. Those 2 teams will be capable of winning a Sun Belt championship. So we want to challenge our guys.
Diondra Larkin, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30, Monday through Friday. Or you can visit us anytime on the Troy TrojanVision News blog at today.troy.edu/TrojanVision to see online content from Troy TrojanVision News anytime. And until next time, have a good week.